Hey guys, welcome back to Football by the Sea. And we have lots to talk about this week. First off, what the hell happened on Sunday? All right, let's just dive right in.
You're diving straight into
Let's just go
No
into
introductions, no, hey, how's your week? No,
No,
nothing.
no. You know who we are. This is John.
Yeah, it's G-Day. Yeah, so Sunday was, I guess, interesting.
It was more than interesting. It was crazy. It was what? It was a glitch in the matrix. That's what happened on Sunday.
No, it really was spectacular because pretty much to go from, trying to examine the Manchester United game, and then Liverpool was like, no. You don't talk about Manchester United. You talk about us.
It's like we didn't even have time to breathe before the second game started, and it was just wait. It was like Liverpool said, "Wait, hold on, man, hold my what is there?
Hold my beer."
Nah, bro. It was just weird. I don't even know how to explain those results. First of all, let's start with the Man U game because
Wait. Before we even get there, people seem to have forgotten that Man City drew with Leeds this weekend. The game was completely overshadowed.
Right. Yeah, because all this other crazy ass stuff just happened that we completely forgot about Leeds and Man City. Like, first of all, kudos to Leeds for drawing with Man City. And I don't know, Man City, I thought maybe the Leicester game was a fluke, but it's looking a little funny for them right now. It's looking a little funny for Pep.
Yes, it is, but they're still missing a lot of players. So I feel like we still got give them a little bit of a down, not much, just a very, very small amount, because with the players they have, they should still be doing a lot better.
Yeah, of course, but it's the thing of the squad rotation. If you have Aguero out or one other player out, shouldn't
pretty much they have no striker.
Right, but they've been spending all this money, and it
doesn't matter when you don't have a striker. Your team plays different. I know he has Sterling playing in the middle,
but
you
can't
for me,
rely on Sterling alone.
He doesn't have that that center forward, that striker's instinct.
Right.
Like if you go back and watch the goal he scored, he was coming in from the left like he normally does, cuts in and then shoots. He doesn't have that mentality that he's going to be like that's a a poacher, that's this animal that's going straight for a goal. That's not what he is. But that's why I believe I don't care how much lower they are. If I was in that situation, I would take a player from my reserves that's a striker. That is what Louis van Gaal did with Rashford those years ago, and it paid dividends because he knew that I need someone that has that striker, that that mentality to go for a goal. And in his first game, he scored 2 goals against Arsenal. His next game, I think he scored another 2 goals, and it's been on the up ever since. Wow. So I feel like this was a chance for him to to dig back into the youth team.
Right.
But,
I don't know if the only youth player I think from them I've ever seen is Phil Foden, to be honest.
But they have a decent youth structure. I mean, people seem to forget that Sancho was a Man City youth product that didn't get a chance.
Yeah, but then it's just not part of their philosophy. Chelsea is also not part of their philosophy to bring the youth in. They had no choice.
Yeah, but that's Chelsea. I mean, because Guardiola brought in youth players when he was at Barcelona.
Oh, it's not at Barcelona now. So
yeah, no, but I feel like that should still be in his.
I think for Man City, it's we're either gonna spend $1 billion or it's not happening. That's really how I look at it for them. And
yeah, and also although Leeds played well, their goal was pretty lucky. I mean, goalkeepers just making mistakes all the time right now.
Yeah, but Leeds are also, credit to them. They're looking like
they
have a
keep
very
pushing.
Interesting season. They're definitely gonna stay. I think they'll be in the top 10 this season.
I can see them doing that.
And we didn't even talk about Everton. Everton is top of the league.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
Glitch
in the matrix.
Yeah, I read somewhere that the last time Liverpool lost by this many goals, Everton won the league.
Oh.
In this So it's is it an omen?
It's
It's
script writers for Premier League.
I mean, it's doubtful, but they have started the season very well, and kudos to Ancelotti, who has got them clicking.
I mean, Calvert-Lewin is moving mad right now,
and James Rodriguez still has it.
He's looking like
because I know so many people wrote him off. I actually wanted him at Arsenal, and I heard so many Arsenal fans like, nah, he's spent. He's not good enough anymore. He's like, how they say, he's 29.
It's just because of what we've seen so far from the past, since the 2014 World Cup, where he shined, and then after that, it kind of just didn't go uphill for him. So,
no, but he hasn't been bad. Yeah, he didn't produce some of those spectacular moments, but he's been, I feel like, solid enough. And I guess everyone was expecting those spectacular moments. But I guess maybe Ancelotti just brings out the best in him, because Ancelotti had him at Real Madrid. He had him at Bayern Munich. And so I guess the two of them just go well together. Right. So, good for them. Like, Everton is looking like, like they're the one of the teams to beat, because people are saying they've only played small teams, but their first game was against Tottenham and they beat them.
We'll see what they do we'll see where we are by the middle of the season. Moving on from that, let's get back to the destruction of Man U first. The red card.
Yeah, I was just about to bring
the red card. I think that was just. I don't even think it's controversy. I think it's just bad refereeing.
It was very bad refereeing, in my opinion, and the fact that VAR saw it and thought it was okay, which I still think that, like, in the English game, I just feel like they don't want to overrule the refs, or they don't want to, like, call fault to something to make the refs look bad. And I feel like that's just the wrong mentality, because, I think the actual rule actually says something about, like, pretty much how heavy the contact is, even like when, like, the player retaliates, and then when it comes to that, it's at the referee's discretion.
Right.
Because, what Martial did, you're not supposed to raise your hand against.
Yeah, he's not supposed to do that, but at the same time.
So for that, he should be reprimanded for that.
At the same time, with bloody hell.
And I feel like if the British are this, like, what's the word for it? They have their, like, stick up their butts about, like,
finicky.
Yeah, about play acting and all that stuff. Then why didn't they, like, put in effort to also, like, reprimand Lamela? Because Lamela
that's what I'm
felt
saying.
Like he had been shot.
He completely. It was like the most. It was worse than, like, a Neymar leg thing at a World Cup.
It was the equivalent of like someone flicking your ear and then you, like, just falling, like, you
just got shot or something. And it's like he should have.
It was shameful.
He should have gotten at least a yellow.
He should have gotten a yellow for play acting, and Martial should have also gotten a yellow for raising his hands up.
Right, but I just don't think that. And why didn't it go to the screen? Why didn't they tell him to go look at the action? This is what I don't understand. Like, it's the implementation of the system. Apparently,
the VAR team agreed with what the referee on the field did, so they felt like he didn't need to go and see it.
I don't. The guys that are watching this stuff wherever they are in London, I don't know who. It's like the referee is not the referee anymore. It's just a bunch of other people in a room, and then they don't want to overrule the referee. But then sometimes they do, and there's no consistency. And
exactly.
We're tired of talking.
That's the
it.
biggest thing. There is no consistency.
Yeah,
whatsoever. From game to game, it's always different.
It's always changing.
That's the biggest issue. When what's his name? When Mane pretty much elbowed Tierney in the Liverpool Arsenal game,
nothing.
He just got a yellow card. I remember seeing something like that last season, where Aguero did something different, and Aguero got a straight red and missed 3 games.
It's just,
and this one didn't even go to VAR or nothing.
I mean, and people wonder why there's no English referees
at major tournaments.
Yeah, because they're not good. Because the training system for the referees, it needs to be completely overhauled. I don't know how they do
it. It just comes down to consistency. I think once there's more consistency, then people won't be complaining as much. But putting that aside, losing one player is not enough
It is not.
to lose by that amount.
There's
Because
many,
like
yeah.
the moment you lose a player, what's the first thing any team does? They go
Go
defensive.
defensive completely. Park the bus, put like
This- I know-
10 players, put
and-
10 players behind the ball.
And I felt like for Man U, it wasn't going to change much because when they play against teams that are like, on the same level as them or slightly better, they usually play like, a defensive game and then hit them on the counter. So I felt like, okay, this is not going to change their game much. But it's like they just, I don't know what it was. Harry Maguire
Oh my
decided-
gosh, the Harry Maguire thing. Oh my.
did stuff that you wouldn't even see in Sunday League.
This is what I'm saying. It feels like
He tackled his own player.
it feels like we entered another dimension. I just watching that, and it's like I had no words. I was like, does he think he's back in Greece and he's trying to tackle one of those attackers?
Oh, come on, that's silly.
Dude, he literally brought his own man down. And no, he headed the ball, first of all. He headed the ball back to his keeper, right?
Yeah,
and then,
it wasn't a good one.
And then he tried to, I don't know whether he was trying to get the ball. I don't know what he was doing. He literally pushes, I forgot who it was. Luke Shaw down.
Yeah,
and doesn't even get the ball.
I know, he drags him to the floor. And Luke Shaw thinks he's being fouled by a Tottenham player. And he's like...
Yeah, Luke Shaw puts his hands up like, yo, I got fouled.
I got fouled. But I was like, yo...
No,
it's your mans that did that.
Your captain. Oh, my days. I don't know, man.
Yeah, Harry Maguire had a torrid time. He had a terrible game. Man.
But despite that, despite all of that, you still should not lose 6-1. Despite all that, I mean, we've seen so many teams go down to 10 men and still maintain some level of composure, some level
There's
of
some
a
levels.
plan.
Sometimes they even win because, they get the other team on the break.
There's a plan. There's something that, okay, when we go down to 10 men, this is how we're going to play.
Yeah,
this
we
is
get
what we're
compact. Let's close up the spaces. Let's stay together. And there was none of that on display. And I feel like that's something that you don't even need the manager to tell you as a player. You automatically just think, okay, we're down a man. That means we have more ground to cover. Let's close up the space. Let's stay tight. They do not need Ole Gunnar Solskjaer yelling that at them. They do not need any of their coaches to tell them.
But where does that come from first? That comes from the manager. That's why, you know what? I feel for Man U fans, to be honest, because...
No, look, I get what you're saying. But I think at the same time, these are not people who are just coming up. They've been a team for a while.
Right, but then
because I feel it doesn't need to come from the manager because that's why it kind of falls back on Harry Maguire because you're the captain. You could have easily
him alone.
No, I'm saying you could have easily brought your team together, but he was failing as a captain. No, because dude, we are not coaches, we're not stuff, but automatically that's what came to our head. They're gonna close up the spaces. If we can think that. If we're playing in the park and we can think that because there are times when teams are not even, so it's okay, we're not as many as them. Let's sort of squeeze the game. No one had to tell us that. A professional player should already know that. So I don't care. I don't want any people are saying where does it come from. No, Ole has been a professional player for a while. He's been a manager. He doesn't need to tell them.
Let me tell you the way I look at it.
That's like saying that I need to tell you to brush your teeth in the morning. No,
the way I look at it is that. When we had Wenger and Emery at Arsenal, there would be players making abysmal mistakes, right? When Arteta came in during the Man City game and Luiz pulled down a man, right, and got sent off.
That was the Chelsea game.
He did that at Man City also.
Oh, you mean on the... Okay, all right.
Okay, he did it twice, right? After the Man City one, he had become much better after that. And, the manager spoke about, he made the mistake and then we'll work on it. It seems that as simple as those things are, as much as you know it, it feels like you still need to have the guy in charge. He still has to drill the most basic things because it feels like it's a domino. It's like crumbling from the top and Ole's at the top. No, I mean Ed Woodward and whoever else.
I get what you're saying, but what David Luiz was doing, that was an individual error.
Those are individual errors,
and And what Maguire did on Sunday, yes, a lot of that was individual. But I'm talking about the team as a whole.
I'm saying that's what I'm saying. The team as a whole should not be
No,
making
like-
so many individual. There shouldn't be so many individual errors in a team game if the coach or if the manager isn't coaching them correctly or isn't making them have some sort of cohesion on the field. So I can still put it. You can blame Maguire. You can blame, you can blame Martial. You can blame anybody. But at the same time, when the manager comes in and everyone's like, these guys are uncoachable. That's what they said about Mustafi and some of the other players, defenders at Arsenal. And Arteta was able to get something out of those guys, but it feels like that's why I'm still going back to Ole. Like,
No, I understand that, yes, Ole gets some of the blame, but I don't feel like he should get as much blame.
no,
because,
he's not getting all of it.
because I feel like when a team loses by that much, I feel like at that point, they've pretty much thrown out what the coaches told them, and then they're just trying to like figure things out and just trying to like do whatever works. Because like I said, like it's common sense that when you lose a man, you stay tight.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a Sunday League team would do that. So the fact that like Man U didn't go tight at all, and then that the game was that open, because if they lost, let's say like 2-0 or 3-0, we could say okay that like that Tottenham maybe had all the ball and was pressing them, but this didn't look like Tottenham had to do much.
No, they didn't. To be very honest, I mean,
it felt like the players are just giving up.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. It felt
like they were like, you know what? I guess it's just not our day. Let's not really do much. I feel like
maybe he's losing that dressing room, to be very honest, or he's already lost it, and they just don't care anymore.
It could be that, and like I used to defend Pogba a lot, but like even just seeing him this season, there's just something about him that just seems like he's not giving his all.
It feels like he needs something somewhere or someone that's going to bring that out of him, and I don't think the current manager is that person. That's really
I don't think the current manager is a person, and I feel like on some level he probably feels like the players around him are probably not good enough.
There really aren't, if you think about it, apart from a few forward players and midfielders.
But then that just puts more, responsibility on your shoulder. Like, remember when
Fabregas...
Fabregas...
Man U overall has a good squad. That's why it's concerning when you see the way they're playing. Overall, their squad should be playing better.
Yeah, the squad should be playing better. But I'm saying, like, remember when Fabregas had that interview on Arsenal blog? And then he said that, like, he felt that, like, a lot of the players in the Arsenal team back then were not on his level.
Right.
And, like, to a point, I agree with him. But the reason why you see a lot of people don't go at him is because, like, you could tell that he was going hard for the team. You could tell that he was putting his in. He was scoring goals. He was providing assists. You look at Pogba and, like, that's why I feel like he probably feels that way, that like a lot of these players are not on his level. But then he's not going that extra
raising
amount.
Their level.
He's not raising their game. Like, remember when we were watching The Last Dance and like Jordan would go at his teammates and like, nah, man, like I'm gonna raise your level to make sure that like you're up to the standard.
Fair enough.
And Pogba he's definitely not doing that, because like we know not everybody's always gonna like be to that level, but at least like what you don't have in talent, you make up for it,
right?
In the work.
Yeesh, man. But yeah, that happened, and then moving on from that, we thought that was gonna be we were watching that game and we thought, oh wow,
we were watching it. We were laughing.
Yeah,
pretty much everyone was laughing except Man U. Some Man U fans were even laughing too because they couldn't believe it.
Liverpool fans
were laughing with us, and like we were like, wow.
And then just the most,
and then that smile turned upside down
very, very quickly. The next game, right? I don't know. I can't even explain this one. I don't know how Jurgen Klopp got on TV after that and was able to explain what happened in that game.
I really think it was just the Lord Almighty trying to give Liverpool some humble pie.
Yeah,
that is all I think,
because
because like
humbling.
Yeah, first of all, in the Premier League, I don't feel like it's a shame to lose to any team because all the teams there go hard. But to lose in that manner,
and as the champions, I said the last time a top flight champion lost that many goals was,
I think it was in the 50s.
Was in the 50s. Like, that's saying something. So, and I've heard a lot of different people talk about it. Everyone has been saying, who knows, maybe they've been complacent ever since they won the league. You know, when you want something so bad and you finally get it, but then you kind of become a little bit complacent. So it's possible, but I don't think that was it. Also, I feel like, okay, there were 3 deflected goals for Aston Villa.
It does matter. You look.
That's what I'm saying. That doesn't matter. They still, like, it could have been 3-1 or 3-2, but
dude, if
to
we
let
take those
7
deflected, they hit the bar like what 2 or 3 times.
Oh my days!
I'm just, like,
and Aston Villa could have actually scored more.
Oh yes, they could have, like,
they could have gone 10.
You know, it's like all of the weaknesses that people have been pointing out in Liverpool were all laid to bear.
Yeah, all on display.
They were all on display. The weakness of Trent's defensive work was on display. It pretty much was like Van Dijk was pretty much trying to do all the defending on his own, and you cannot do it on your own.
Yeah.
Even Robinson too. But if you see, everything was coming down the side where Trent was. They knew his weakness.
Yeah,
and they
attacked that side, and they got everyone in down on that side. The player that they bought, what was it, Ollie Watkins? First game in the Premier League, gets a hat trick.
A perfect hat trick. Left foot, right foot header.
And then
it doesn't get any better than that, man.
And
he could have scored more.
Yeah, Ross Barkley gets one in.
Ross Barkley, Grealish was tearing it up.
I mean, they made them look like a Sunday. They made them look like a Division 3 team or something.
No, they. That's why I said, like, the only thing that explains it is God was like, I need to get these people to humble themselves a bit,
right,
and get them, because I feel like if it was Man City that did that, they'd be like, oh, Man City must have caught them on an off day, or if it was, any other big team. But the fact that it was a team that was fighting relegation.
This team almost got relegated last season.
I mean, at the same time, we have to give kudos to Aston Villa because,
they played very
well. And, like, they did a pretty decent job in the transfer market. They brought in a decent...
that Ollie Watkins kid is looking
yeah,
good.
A decent number of players.
Ross Barkley in the middle.
They brought in Ross Barkley.
So, like, Grealish.
So, like, Grealish doesn't have to do all the creative...
Yeah.
work anymore. He has Barkley to do some of it, and then they have someone who's actually, like, potent in front of goal.
And I think that was one thing that was...
And a decent goalkeeper too.
Yeah, I was comparing it to the way we played them at Anfield, and I was thinking that, we showed them a little too much respect in that game.
Yeah, it was, because we cut them open sometimes, and Lacazette should have scored. But I think what it shows is that, because a lot of the things we did is what Aston Villa just did as well, but then they went in their faces about it.
Right.
They were a lot more aggressive.
A lot more higher up, pressing them higher up on the pitch. They forced a couple errors from Adrian, Gomez.
Like, they exposed that extremely high line that Liverpool was
and
playing.
it's funny because in the game, the Arsenal game, when I think Klopp was talking to reporters and they were saying, is there a risk of playing that high line all the time? And then he said, it's a risk, but it's a risk that we're willing to take.
Yeah, it's because high risk, high reward. That's pretty much what it is. And
but this
time,
sheesh, this was high risk.
It wasn't worth it.
And
I've seen a lot of people like blaming the goalkeeper that, like, he messed up. And okay, he made a mistake, but that was so early in the game.
Yeah,
so I feel like it shouldn't have mattered because it was so early. I was like, there was so much time for them to get back into the game.
The only two major players they missed were Alisson and Mane, and we've seen them play well without.
It shouldn't matter. That's why they brought in Diego Jota. to cover up for Mane. So that should be no excuse. I can understand the goal that there's a drop in quality, but still, it was just one mistake he made, and a lot of those goals, there were, like I said, 3 deflections. What the hell is he supposed to do about those? The second goal that the striker scored was a banger into the top right corner.
It's like they just cut them, sliced them open through the middle, and anytime Liverpool got forward, they were able to block those channels through the side.
No, the thing is that Liverpool still went at them. They got chances.
Yeah, they had a bunch of chances.
What's the word people, the tactics always, their XG, they did not match their XG for this game. Like the expected goals you from Liverpool was not met.
Yeah. It was like a weird day. It was like something was in the air. But it was great. I mean, and that's why we love the Premier League, because it's just one of the leagues where it's everyone is fighting. Everyone is fighting for something.
Yeah, I mean, there could have been a lot more, Giants killing this weekend, because if we look at the Bundesliga it as well, Bayern Munich almost dropped points again.
So, yeah.
They were leading 2 against, I think, is it the Hertha Berlin? And they came back to 2-2. And then they scored again. And then they equalized again almost in the last minute. And then Bayern got a last-minute penalty. Lewandowski scored another 4 goals. I don't even know what to say anymore about that guy. Just stops. Just go away.
So
even I think Barcelona as well dropped points.
I think, but for me, I believe this is what will help those other leagues become more exciting, because this is why I don't pay as much attention on a weekly basis to the Bundesliga or Serie A or La Liga as much as I would, just because the amount of competition isn't on the same level to the biggest teams over there. So, maybe the Bundesliga will be more interesting this season, hopefully, and we'll see what happens in La Liga. But yeah, I think it's good. It's good for football. If you're a fan of football and you see these giants being vulnerable and being able to be attacked and gotten at, I think that's great, because it shows other teams are getting better. It shows that the quality of these teams are getting better, and that's exactly what we want. I just feel like the Premier League is ahead in that respect, like by a mile already. So
yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah,
and so that was the weekend. It was beautiful.
We didn't even talk about the Arsenal game.
Please, the Arsenal game was nothing. Like, after seeing what happened, like,
you didn't even. It's just like
you completely forgot. Like, I pretty much forgot about all the other games this weekend.
I think West Ham beat Leicester like 3-0 also.
I forgot about that
too. What? This shows you just how much was it. Chelsea beat Crystal Palace like 4-0 or 4-1. I think
it was 4-0. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like those last 2 games on Sunday just blew the rest of the weekend away. Like,
it just made you like black out all the other games because they were just so crazy. But yeah, this is why I'm saying the league is looking looking kind of open. I know it's only been a few games, but still.
Yeah, it's been 4 games. Well, like, see, Everton is top of the league, followed by Aston Villa.
Right, and you were like, what? Leicester is 3rd, we're 4th, and it's just, what's going on here? But it's looking like it's going to be very exciting. I mean, there's going to be a few dark horses this season: Everton, Tottenham, Wolves. So we'll see what happens. I'm actually really looking forward to the rest of the season.
Yeah. So that's that. Hi, Gina here, one half of Football by the Sea. Thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more, check out our channel. And if you enjoy the content we're putting up, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Everyone counts. If you want to listen to the full podcast, check out the links in the description. You can find us on pretty much every podcast platform out there. Thanks again for watching. Take care.